Okay, I don't know how you guys keep coming in here, but I'm gonna have to change the lock soon. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. On today's video, we're gonna do a oil change on my daughter's 2010 Kia Rio. You know how it is, guys. If your dad's out there, you know, you have a garage and all of a sudden your kids, you know, need free car work on their stuff, you know. So being the great dad that I am, you know, I'm gonna do this for her. So yeah, let's get going. So like on any oil change that you do, you got to make sure that the oil is properly warmed up. In this case, I'm pretty sure it's been well warmed up because the car just came from Ottawa, which is over 100 kilometers. So pretty sure the car is warm enough. The reason you do that is because that way you get all the any little metal flakes or anything that you've got in the oil from the engine. It'll drain out a lot easier, and you'll more or less get everything out of the engine block instead of leaving it in there. If the oil is cold, it doesn't flow as much and it doesn't allow any of the little particulates to come out. So the first step you got to do is you got to pop the hood. Open up the oil fill cap and lay it off to the side. Locate the oil drain plug on the pan underneath using a 17mm socket. You loosen it off. And with your drain pan underneath, you let the oil flow. Okay, now once the oil has finished draining, I just give it a quick little wipe here. On all the cars now, there's always a crush washer that gets put onto the drain plug. So take off the old one. Replace it with a new one. Put the bolt back in. You don't have to overly tight these because you don't want to strip the bolt. Just give it a little wipe. Next part of the oil change would be to remove your filter. Filter's right here. Move your drain pan underneath. Loosen it off. And let it drain slowly so you don't make a big mess. Now on this car, I removed, there was a plastic little drip pan. Usually you remove it all, but this one was broken, so it was only a part. So anyways, I didn't show that in the video, but a lot of times you got to take off a skid plate or something to get access to this. And here we go. The old oil filter is removed. Once that's finished dripping a little bit, give that a little wipe. Clean it off. Guys, while we're talking about changing the filter, here are different tools that you can use to remove the filters. There's ones like these. The problem with that is they're adjustable, so they can fit a variety of different size filters. The only thing with these is, I've noticed, is when you come to use them, a lot of times they slip. It's supposed to tighten here, but like it'll slide, and then it gives you a headache anyways. So I don't like using that. Then you've got these ones here that are made for the proper size of your filter. They work great. I mean, you pop it off, you put your ratchet on here, and they work good. The only thing is, a lot of times you'll come across filters that are different sizes, and even for one particular car, a filter, you go to a different brand of filter, it'll be a bit bigger, a bit smaller. So unless you buy the exact one that'll fit that, it's kind of useless. This one in this case is the one for my Boxster. It works great. I mean, it doesn't. My Boxster is a different type of filter, as we'll see when I do an oil change on it. Same with the Volkswagen, it's a different type of filter. So yeah, I just picked up these pliers, oil filter pliers at Canadian Tire today, because I ran into the same problem that a lot of people do with the oil filter being a different size. I didn't have the proper one. I tried the other one that's adjustable, and it was sliding, so it doesn't work. It's a pain in the butt. So I picked up these pliers. I was recommended them by the guy at Canadian Tire. He says that's what they use in the garage and that, and lo and behold, they worked awesome. So, you know, if ever you run into that problem, try these out. They're about, I don't know, 17 bucks, under 20 bucks anyways. Well worth it. All right, guys, so when you put a new filter on, you've got the little rubber seal here. You've got to put some, you got to coat it with a fresh little layer of oil just to lubricate that seal here. Just dip your finger in the new oil container and just run it across here, and that's good. Then you're ready to install it. You screw it into place. You spin it just hand tight, and then with your pliers you just give it a little bit more of a turn. You don't have to go too there, just give it a little bit more. There we go, and that's all set. And now you're ready to put the oil in. This particular car, just make sure you put the right type of oil in. This particular car takes 5W20. So I always start off by putting in about 3 liters in. And then I just measure it out and see if I need more. We'll let that flow in there, and we'll check the oil dipstick after and see how close we are to having it topped up. As you all know, you have to be in between the low and full. So there you have it. It's showing that it's full. What I like to do is to start it up and just let it run, just to run the oil into the filter, because as you know, it's empty, and get the oil in there, and then recheck the level and top up if necessary. Okay guys, so that's it for a oil change on a 2010 Kia Rio. As you recall, I had put 3 liters in, and I wanted to run it a little bit just to have the oil flow through the empty oil filter, and I ended up topping it off after, and I ended up putting roughly the 3.3 liters of oil that's recommended for this engine. That's what it says the capacity is. It's always important to check to see what the capacity of the oil is on your engine, so you don't overfill it. You can find that in the owner's manual, or just go on Google and type it in and you'll get the results. Okay guys, so we're going to do the oil change on the Volkswagen CC. It's just to give you a difference between doing the oil change on the Kia towards the Volkswagen CC. There's a few minor differences. The oil filter is a little bit different, and I'll show the removal of the under tray because this one is all intact. Besides that, everything is draining the oil, is adding the oil, all that's the same, so I'm not going to film all of that. I just want to show the few little differences. Okay, so this car has an intact under tray, and to remove it you need T25 Torx bits, so I'll remove them. Now on the rear of this tray you'll need a T45 Torx bit. There's 3 of them. The drain bolt on this one is 19 mil. Always be careful not to burn your hands, because this oil is hot. To remove the housing, you need a 36 millimeter socket. So this is the filter housing. It comes with a little rubber gasket here that you got to remove and change. And you just pull it off, put the new one on, and like the other filters, you lube up the rubber with some fresh oil. This is the paper filter. Sits in here, and you screw it back into the car. Once you install the cartridge back in, screw the housing back on. You don't over tighten either. I'm replacing the standard drain bolt with a magnetic drain plug from ECS, just for some extra precaution. So that's it for an oil change on the CC. It's from here on out, it's everything's the same as it was on the Kia, so there's no point in filming all that. It's just a matter of putting the tray back on, putting the right amount of oil in, and that's it. Oil change is done. So have a good one, guys.